Hey everybody, it's Watachi Running Free. You guys, I try to do this every now and then. I don't know what channel I'll put this on, so I'm just saying it's Watachi Running Free. I probably might put them on all my damn channels, but I always try to do a I don't know, funny stories. Not nothing serious. Everybody always says, "Man, you're so serious. You seem angry all the time." Now, okay, well, I if you guys' mind, the stuff that ran through my mind, run through all your guys' mind all the time, with all the government stuff, with all the religious stuff, with all just life in general. If you guys thought like I did, and you believe like I do, you would be upset right now, pretty bad too. But I fight it, man. I do get angry. I'm no different than you guys. I am no different than any one of you. I am a righteous man, but I'm no different than any one of you. Righteous is just my beliefs. That's the only difference between you and I is my beliefs. I'm nobody special. I'm just Brian Grooms. That's it. But like I was saying, I try to do every now and then do a video of just funny shit that I've been involved with in my life, just about me, and the people that were with me, because most of the time there was at least 3 or 4 other fools with me when the stuff happened. So, but I like to do this in order to, you guys, you don't really know me other than through my videos. So I want you guys to know I do have a sense of humor that my family don't. I mean, they don't know what to expect out of me most of the time. But that's another video. The things I've done and the things my family. See, I'm getting ready to have my 30th wedding anniversary with my wife in December. We will have been married for 30 years in December. And that's a funny story too. And that's might be one of, it's not on my list, but that'll have to be one that I tell another time. But I I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys before I get started. I've already titled these, and even the titles are kind of funny. So I'm going to give you the titles up front, and I hope I can get through all of them. But it depends, because once I start telling the stories, and more details might come in, funnier shit. I might stick longer on one, might not get through them all. But these are the titles, and I just want you to hear them. The first one is Singing in the Choir. Firecrackers in the Car. City Slicker slips off 30-foot cliff. Shark and Windshield. Lion in a Mine Shaft. Cactus in the Ass. And April Fools. Now, those are the titles, folks. And these are all things that's happened to me in, well, it's been a long time since any of them's happened, but they have happened in my lifetime. Uh, I don't do a lot of this stuff anymore. I can't, because I can't walk I can't climb hills and mountains like I used to. I don't have the wind for it, and my heart won't let me do it. But uh, I'm going to first, before I get into these, I'm going to do you young people. I'm going to do you young people a big favor. You guys are going to owe me so much. And I think I'll leave in the description an account you can send the money to as you realize it and maybe use it. You can go ahead and send me some money. Whatever you want. But this is my secret that I'm going to give up to you guys. Because I love you. I love all you young people, man. The secret is, and this will work for both sexes, guys and girls. It will work. If you got somebody and you're wanting to have it's a, first date maybe, or not first date. A lot of you might even, it could be the first date. I would say, you've been dating a little while. Things are starting to get steam up a little bit, you know what I mean. And you're wanting to just have a romantic evening, maybe at home you make him dinner, he makes you dinner, either one, seriously. And then when you guys are sitting down eating dinner, before you put the food out, go over and kick on some real music, folks. Some real music. Put some Righteous Brothers on. If you don't know who they are, look them up and check them out. But if you're wanting to get a little romance going, a little something, and you want to get on the good side, try playing one of these Righteous Brothers songs. They've got a few of them, and they can get you into some trouble, and they can get you out of some trouble. But, especially if you're in trouble, they got a song for you. So, a guy in trouble. There's a special song for you guys that I guarantee it. I don't care what woman that is, who you're in trouble. Well, it depends on how much trouble you're in. I mean, there's some things that can't be forgotten. But a lot of it's stupid shit. And it will work more than once. Check out the Righteous Brothers. That's my secret to you young folks, man. Just check them out. I only tell you this because I love you. Now, they're singing. Now they started. I'd have to say I can't remember when they started, but it had to go back to the early '60s, maybe back in the late '50s. And the only reason I know that is because they lived in the same black and white world I lived in before colored videos and pictures came out. And most of their early stuff, they were in black and white videos, There's a lot of photos of me black and white videos and pictures. So it had to be late 50s, early 60s when they came out, and they hit big, people. They hit big. Their songs, if you check them out, you'll know why. But these guys didn't have all these synthesizers and all this equipment that they use now to make the rappers sound good, the country music people sound good, and hell, they could even make me sound good today. And believe me, folks, believe me when I tell you, I am not tone deaf. I can clearly hear that I cannot sing for shit. And that brings me into my first story. My mom wanted me to do something that was involved with the school, that involved stuff after school. Now, I couldn't do sports because of my heart and lung problems. I couldn't pass the physicals. And I couldn't run anyway. So I was born with the stuff that's wrong with me, folks. But so my mom wanted me to join something that there was going to be some kind of connection to the school after school was out. So, I don't know who chose it. I don't know how I got picked or how I picked it. I don't even know why. I was probably smoking something at the time when I chose choir. Now, I want to let you know something, folks. I thought choir was for people that could sing. Now, I didn't have a want in the world to be in choir. All I did is my mom told me to sign up for something. So I did. I figured all they'd ask me to do is sing. And once they asked me to do that, I'd do it, and they would say no, and that choir shit and after school shit would be over. Well, I know you've heard this out of me before, people, but that isn't how this worked out. Not even close. And I didn't expect it. And this happens many times in my life, and you'll hear this many times as I tell my stories. Because usually when I think I've thought it through, I was so wrong, I wasn't even in the same book, let alone on the same page. But these guys let me be in the choir. And believe me, it didn't take me but about a week or so. And I knew, or I thought, I was the only person in there that could not hold a tone with his voice. My voice, people, it only goes to a certain height, I guess you would say. I cannot scream like a girl for nothing. If I try to do it, I start choking. Nothing comes out. I just start choking. I swear I cannot get my voice to sound high enough for a girl, to even try to do a girl. I can't get that high. So when I sing, I can definitely hear me sing. Well, people, when I thought I was the only one in the room that couldn't sing, because I stood by these people and I could hear them singing. Some of them did solos, and I could hear these people sing. And I was like, well, if I can hear them sing and they can hear me sing, well, I'm not singing then, because I cannot sing. So, man, there was another guy that joined that class a little bit late. He just moved to town. And this guy, I don't know why. I mean, I can't figure out why I did it, but I don't even know why it was even in this man's thought, or this guy's thought. Now, this guy, you guys think I'm a hillbilly. This guy was straight from Kentucky. I'm from Tennessee. We're smarter from Tennessee than the Kentuckians are, you know. But where was I going with that? Singing it. This other guy, man, he started in the choir, and he was about my same height. And they stuck us standing next to each other. And if I had enough balls, I would sing for you right now. And the only thing I could do is say about it is it would be maybe 1,000 times better than this guy could do. And I at least had the decency to lip sync it. Yes, I know there was that famous band that lip synced their shit and sync. Isn't that who it was? I don't know. I was lip syncing, people. I knew I could not sing, but I had to be there, and I had to be in the funny looking costume. So I lip synced the shit. This other guy didn't. If you don't think it was damn hard for me to stand there and listen to this guy sing and not bust up laughing while we're in the middle of a concert in front of, I don't know, 500, 210 people. I don't know how many people were out there in the audience, but there was more than 10. It was all of our parents and family members and everybody you knew and shit. They would show up just to watch you, you know. But I at least had the common decency to lip sync. But this guy couldn't. He would sing and he would make his own self laugh. That was even funnier, man. So here they got these two damn hillbillies standing on one side of the choir. Oh, we're dressed up. We got our fancy shirts and our ties on, and looking, and got all of us wearing the same matching colored clothes. And There's me and him. His name was Dale Bush. Me and Dale standing there. Hell, we couldn't get through a damn song without laughing, man. He couldn't sing for shit. He would not just lip sync. Oh my God, that's funny shit right there. But yeah, I guess you had to be there. But now we're gonna move up to the firecrackers in the car. Now this, there's a buddy of mine. Hell, I didn't even have a driver's license. I was 15. He was I think he was a year older than me, or he was in the same grade I was in. But my birthday always fell at the end of the year, and I think his was at the beginning of the year. And but he was 16. He got his driver's license. And, he bought a damn Gran Torino, and this guy, I'm gonna tell you one. I got to tell you a little bit to build up to the firecrackers in the car. Now in high school, folks, I partied hard. I did. They graduated me with D's and F's. I did not want to be there, and my buddy, I come in. I was getting high out in the parking lot or something. I come in. I'm out of cigarettes. Dale, he's at lunch in the cafeteria. I go in there to him and I say, "Hey, man, I need a cigarette bad, man. I'm jonesing for a cigarette." So I didn't pay no attention to him until it struck me later. I didn't even realize it. But instead of reaching in his pocket where his cigarettes were, he reached in his other pocket and pulled a cigarette out, a single one out, and he handed it to me. Now, I mean, I could have been, shit, at that time, I could have been doing some acid. I could have been doing shrooms. I could have been doing Quaaludes. It wasn't probably just high on weed, but here I'm wasted. I go straight to the bathroom, and I get in there and I spark that baby up. I take one or two tokes, and all of a sudden this thing just, boom, just explodes in my face now. Got tobacco in my stash, up my hair, all the way up and down my clothes. I mean, it stuck to my face. He double or triple loaded this damn cigarette with one of them loads, and gave it to me, knowing I was high. Now, we had a teacher. His name was Mr. Riley, and he would come. He knew we were smoking in the bathroom, and he didn't want to be and if he didn't catch you blowing smoke out or throwing a cigarette in a toilet, he could smell it, and he wouldn't do nothing. So, and he would also walk in, reach around the wall and flip the lights on and off, and let everybody know he's coming in to put the cigarettes and shit out. That's who he was. And but he heard this big blast coming out of the bathroom, and here he comes walking in there, and he looks at me, and he goes, "Goons." My last name is Grooms, and I had this teacher, for several classes. One year I had him during one day class. I had him twice. I had him once in the morning, once at night, or once in the afternoon. And half the time I'd be at one class, but not in the other, you know. But he comes in and he says, "Guns, what the hell you doing in here?" I'm going, "Nothing." And see, I didn't know I still got the tobacco blowing all over me. I'm sitting there and I'm hitting on this thing. When it popped, I'm thinking seed in a joint popping. And that's what was going through my head. And then all of a sudden he comes walking in, and I'm backing up, spitting, doing this. And I look, and he's standing there. And Goons, what's going on? I said, "I don't know what's going on." He goes, you in there smoking? I said, no, sir. He looked at me and goes, oh, it's funny, you got tobacco all over you. He goes, get to class. So I went to class, man. Now, I tell you that story because I get this guy back later. Let me do something real quick, folks. All right, now, about a year or so later, like I said, my buddy, he got his license, got him in Gran Torino. He wanted to go somewhere, just get away from Greenwood. So I said, man, I got some family down in Tennessee. They live on right by this big old lake called Morris Lake. I said, hell, we can go down there and spend the whole damn weekend, just lay around, swim, do whatever you want. He's like, shit, let's do it. So I said, all right, we'll go this weekend. So we planned on it. By the time Friday come around, we were headed out, but there was a buddy of his he hadn't seen in a while that showed up. So he asked him if he wanted to go. I didn't have a problem with it. I didn't know the guy. And so we three of us headed down there. Now my buddy was driving. I'm in the passenger seat. All right, wait, we go on down and we get down there. Indiana, you couldn't buy no firecrackers. You had to buy sparklers and them damn snakes and shit. That was the best we had in damn Indiana back in the 70s and 80s, But down in Tennessee, you could buy M80s. You could buy at one point, I think it was a third or a quarter stick of dynamite. You could blow some shit up down in Tennessee, man. And so we went down there, and I was telling them, man, we can get some shit, blow some shit up, man. They go, what? And I take them over and show them these firework stores and shit. And we're buying up all kinds of shit, man. We're gonna go out somewhere and just blow everything up, We ended up with all these extra black cats, and I'm not talking them little packs about this long, had one little row. No, I'm talking about the whole packs that had about 10 or 12 or 13 of them little packs inside that were all connected. When I say firecrackers, that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about one. I'm not talking about one little pack. I'm talking about a damn 10, 12, 13 of the little packs. So that it's like those little packs had at least 20 black cat firecrackers. And if you don't know what a black cat is, buddy, you can blow your fingers off the black cats. And we just had boxes of this shit. Now, this guy that came with us, he was a nice guy, no problem with him. He was goofy, had a real high speaking voice. Nothing wrong with him. He was just kind of a funny guy, So he's sleeping. We're headed back to Indiana now. We done had our weekend. We blew shit up, swam in the lake, jumped off the bridges and shit down there. And we're headed back to home. And I'm sitting up there, the guy in the back seat, we got shit he's on the floor, and he's stretched out on the seat, and he's out, sleeping. I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at boxes of these big, long packs of firecrackers. And I'm trying to think of something, So I pull out one of them big old long packs, and I'm ripping it open, and you got to twirl them things together to get a good light on it. My buddy's driving the car. He goes, what are you doing? I said, just drive. I'm in the passenger seat up front. He goes, man, and I'm looking, I kind of look back, and he goes, oh no. I go, just watch. I spark him damn big long pack of black cats, and I toss it right over the back of the front seat, right back there where that guy's sleeping. Now these black cats start going off in this back seat about, I don't know, 7, 8 inches from this guy's head. And I mean, he comes up off that seat screaming like a little girl. Bah! I can't even do it, folks. I wish I could. I'd do it just to show you. Me and my buddy up in the front, we know how many firecrackers are still left, and he's already screaming. We're about 10 pops in. There's about 100 more coming. The more he's screaming, the more me and my buddy up in the front seat's laughing our asses off. He's having a hard time keeping the damn car in the road, and he's driving. Now, this guy, man, we get about another. Hey, all them firecrackers go off, and he's fucking pissed, buddy. He's hating my ass so bad he don't even know me that well. He just met me that weekend, and he is pissed. He's gonna get me back. Now he doesn't think I've ever put myself in these kind of positions before, and I knew he was pissed, and I knew there was a get me back in plan. And when I went on this trip, I brought this damn little pillow with me, and it wasn't the plan at the time, but I brought this pillow so I could lean it up against the door and I'd fall over and go to sleep, you know. And I'd been doing it, and but I had that pillow right up there with me, and I pulled down the sun visor and opened up the damn mirror where I could watch him. He wasn't even paying attention to me watching him in the mirror. And I see him back here, and I see him, and I hear the paperwork on that fire pack crackers fucking opening and shit. And I kind of glance over at my buddy, and he glances back, and we know. And he smoked, so he thought he could just hit a big and light them firecrackers, and we wouldn't think nothing about it. Well, he lit them down, another big long pack of firecrackers, and I had that pillow already I had held onto it like that, and it was in my hand, watching him in the mirror. And as soon as he went to slap it up over the front seat, I reached up and smacked it with the pillow, smacked it right back into his lap. He's back to screaming like a damn girl again, and there's about 100 firecrackers getting ready to go off in that back. I mean, they're going off. This guy, man, oh my God, he was tore up. He couldn't believe it. He tried to get me, and I knocked them back on him, and he got the blast. Now, in that back seat of that damn Gran Torino, we had about 200 at least black cat firecrackers that went off on this, and while this guy's been in the back seat. I'm sitting there, and I'm remembering Dale got me with that loaded cigarette. He's driving the car. And believe me, we're high. We're smoking pot. I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at them firecrackers again. Dale's looking at me, and I reach down there, and I grab another big, long pack. Twist that top together. Dale's going, he's thinking I'm going to throw it in the back seat with that other guy. I went, and he goes, he just shook his head. So I held it up there, and I lit that big, long thing of firecrackers. And I whipped it right down between his legs while he's driving that car. We're doing probably 60, 65, maybe 70 mile an hour down the interstate, people in this old, probably a 1965 or 63 Gran Torino or something. Old old now, but it wasn't real old back then. Probably 10, 15 years old or something. This guy sees that lit pack of about 100 damn firecrackers just got thrown into his lap. He's raised his ass up off of the seat because they're blowing up. They fell down between his legs and they're blowing up. He can't put his foot on the gas or the brake. So he's holding his ass up off the seat and trying to drive. And we were doing 60, 70 mile an hour. Me, I'm over there in the passenger seat rolling. I am laughing so hard. I don't even care if we die. If I go out like this, I'm going out with a smile on my face. Now, it probably took about a minute and a half for all them firecrackers to blow up. And it did burn the shit out of that seat. But it didn't blow his nuts off. And I got him back for packing that cigarette with them loads. What kind of friend is that? Paybacks are a bitch, especially if you're not a righteous man. The city slicker slips off the 30-foot cliff. Hell, we're already at 31 minutes. I'll make this one quick. This is another guy, a friend of mine from Indiana. Now, I call him a city slicker because he dressed and he didn't wear jeans and stuff. He wore slacks and he wore nice shirts and he dressed well and he wore them shoes that have no tread on the bottom of it, that's slippers or whatever. He dressed fancy. Let's just say his parents, and he was raised, they had money. Now, one time he was talking about going somewhere and getting away from Indiana. I said, that's cool, man. Hell, let's go down. Let's go down to my cousin's house, man. At this time, one of my cousins, he was a millionaire. He had a hunk of land right on the lake. He's also had 10-acre spread, went up this whole side of this mountain, all the way to the top. And but they had money and shit. So I said, let's go down there, man. So me, him, and another friend of ours went. And first day we were there, he goes, I'd been telling him there was this place at the lake that had different levels of that you could jump off of, cliff jump off, you know. I said about the highest one's about somewhere between 30, 38 feet, somewhere around that. And I said up on that top of that hill, there's a tree that grew straight out, and then it grew up. And that's the way the tree grew out of the top of that cliff, man. And people would, if you had to walk out on that tree to get out far enough to jump, to miss the cliff below you. You had to get out there to miss that cliff, or you'd hit the damn bottom down there before you'd hit the water. And because there was edges that stuck out. And it had been raining, and it was in the morning about, 9 o'clock. Cloudy day. Like I said, the wood on that tree that stuck out and shit was wet. This guy's got them damn dress shoes on that are slick on the bottom of them. And I took him up to the top of that cliff, showed him, because I jumped off there several times. And I was showing him, how you walk out on that tree and jump out there because he'd miss them rocks, And he's standing there and he's going, man, I'm gonna walk out there on that damn tree and check this out. I'm like, man, don't do it. Them damn shoes you got on. Yeah, I'd take them shoes off, take your socks off, walk out there barefooted. He was like, I'll be all right. So I turned around. He started to walk out on that tree, and I turned around. I was telling my buddy, watch this. This is going to be funny. By the time I turned around, he was already gone. He was already gone. Them damn shoes he had on, he walked out on that wet bark. Boom, he was gone into that damn lake. And I was like, oh, my God, did he make it out far enough to past them rocks, you know. And so I kind of walk out to the edge, and I'm looking off there, and I see him, and he's down there swimming. I'm going, he didn't hit the rock. Me and my buddy are rolling. We're rolling because I told the guy not to walk out there. Well, he climbs his ass out of the lake because we get up there and take him back. But, that's the city slicker, I call it, off a 30-foot cliff. Now, let's see. I'm going to move on down here a little bit. No, I ain't going to. The lion in the mine shaft. Let's do that one. Out in Arizona, when I lived out there, folks, I had several trucks, but they were locked up. They were locked up and would go any damn where I wanted to go. And I had an old Silverado, just a it wasn't a king cab or nothing. It was just a regular cab. Old Silverado I bought off of an old farmer out there, and he had paid to have. But when this thing was built, he had it locked up and everything so that he could use it around the farm. Or there would be times he wouldn't be able to do anything. Well, when you're in the sand and it rains, it gives you more traction. So rain don't bother you in Arizona, unless you're up in the mountains, where it ain't sand. But there was a spot on this mountain that was behind my where we lived. I could drive straight up, almost out of my yard and drive straight to this mountain range, and never touch road. And but there was an old mine shaft up on top of this mountain there, and it had. It'd been there. It was probably built back in the late 1800s. But when it was dug out, they went back in to the mountain from a certain spot up towards the top. They went back in about probably 100 yards, and then they went down right in the center of this mountain. And they were, I think it was either quartz or copper that they were mining out of that shaft. It was either quartz or copper. There's a lot of quartz mined out in Arizona. But I've been back in this shaft many times. And the reason why they stopped using it, stopped mining it, was the down shaft, the main shaft went down. They got down, I can't remember how many feet they went down, but they finally hit the water, hit water. Now, folks, this when they hit that water came all the way up to the top of that mine shaft, all the way to the top of that mountain of that mine shaft. And this is in the desert, folks. This is in the desert. And that's why they always said there wasn't no water in the desert. My ass. Because there was so much damn water, it shut down mine shafts when they hit them. And but this mine shaft went way back in there, and there was a couple spots that they started a different shaft, and then it just ended, and they came back and went on straight. But one night, my brother-in-law, my two nephews, my own son, and me, they wanted me to take them up to that mine shaft. I said, all right. And so I put it, whoever could get in the front, and then the rest got in the bed of the truck. And I take them up to the shaft, and it was hard to even get up to just below the shaft. And then there was another way. Once you got up near the shaft, there was a road that you could go that went straight up to the shaft opening, or there was what do they call that? A switchback. You could go up and then come back up this way to get up to it. And so I took them straight up to the shaft, and we got up there, and they were like, "Man, we want to go back in that shaft." I'm like, We ain't got enough flashlights and shit. And so I start looking. There's like 5 of us. Let's see, 3, yeah, 5 of us. And all I can find is these little bitty small little flashlights, got a head on about as big as my thumb, you know. And I'm going, man, we got 2 flashlights, there's 5 of us. They go, yeah, that's enough, man, we can do this. And I'm like, fuck. And I walk around the other side of my truck, I put my gun on my hip. I always have a gun. But I put it on my hip, so I got it with me. And so I'm leading them with one flashlight, and then I think my brother-in-law, he was the next oldest, he had the other flashlight. So a couple of them was with me, and one or two was with him. And they're following me in there, and I know the directions and shit. Now they're all coming up behind me as I'm leading them in. I've got a gun on my hip. People, I come up to the main shaft. Now, it had the wood frame that they used to go down into the shaft. The rest of it was cut straight through the rock. They didn't even have nothing holding it up. It was just a hole through a rock, you know. But with a down shaft was, they used timber. And as I'm walking up, now I'm out in the front. As I'm walking up, this down shaft was probably, I don't know, a good 20 feet from one side to the other. And I'm walking up on that down shaft, and I see a mountain lion jump from the side that I was on over to the other side and land on that other side of that shaft on the timbers. He must have been in there, and we were pushing him back and pushing him back and pushing him back all the way into that dam. He was down to where the water level was, down on the wood trying to get away from us. A mountain lion, folks. And I got a gun on my hip. I walk up and I see that damn mountain lion jump. Now, I ain't scared of no man. I ain't scared of no man whatsoever. But when you talk about certain animals and they got that feline in them, oh yeah, there's some fear there. You can guarantee it. I was gone. My flashlight, I was gone. Back up that damn shaft. When I stopped, I was at my truck. Now, I look back, thinking they were following me. Wasn't nobody. The other 4 of them was inside the shaft. None of them had a gun. They had one little flashlight. So I'm like, oh, fuck, I got to go back in there and get them. My son's in there. So I go back in there, and when they was coming out, they went down one of the wrong shafts, and I found them. And they're like, what the hell, man? I said, did you see that mountain lion? They go, no. I said, well, I did. And I left. They go, man, you had a gun. I said, I don't care. My feet said time to leave. My feet left. I followed. Well, they lived through it. Now, I'm going to end with this. Oh, hell, we're at 43 minutes. I'm going to end with this. There's a cactus out in Arizona. It's called cholla. Some people believe this shit jumps on you. That you walk by it and it just jumps on you. That's what it seems like, folks. Believe me, that's what it seems like. But you touch it somehow. That's how it gets on you. Now, there's these damn cactuses, if they break your skin, as soon as a needle that goes in your arm or wherever it goes in, it curves like a hook because of the liquid in your skin, the blood and everything. It makes it curve like a hook. These damn cacti, I ain't lying to you, folks. I ain't lying to you. Some people say they can use combs and shit to kind of hook and pull them hooks out without it killing you, without it ripping, But we drove around, and so man, I did 100,000 miles driving through desert and shit with me and my buddies. Called ourselves the fuck all we four wheelers. And we when you're walking around shit out there, you watch these cactuses and shit. You also watch it when you're driving. That you hit these cactus with your tires and they stick in the side of your tire. And if you don't notice it, you walk by it and it'll stick you in the damn leg. Well, we all know this. We know this, not to, or to watch. You know, if you're going to lean back on a tire, you better check it first, you know. Well, not me. Now, we've been driving around and we all decided to stop, bullshit a little bit, drink a beer. We're out in the middle of the desert. There ain't no law out there. It was kind of getting dark, and they kind of pulled into a circle, and I pulled in. I come over, and my buddy's Jeep's there, and he's got them big old tires on it. And we're all standing there bullshitting, and I didn't think about it, and I backed up and just leaned against his tire, and as soon as I did, my eyes went like that. I said, oh, shit. Pulled myself off the tire because the damn cactus was stuck in the tire, too. Like I told you, when them cactus hit skin and bodies, they curve. In rubber, they don't. Well, it came right out of the damn tire when it stuck in my butt. Now, you know when you got a good friend. I ain't told nobody. I got cactus in my ass. And I walk over to my buddy and I said, hey, you got any pliers? He goes, yeah, man, why? What you hear? He runs over to his Jeep and he grabs a pair of pliers. He comes back and he's going, here, man, here, what do you need the pliers for? And I'm going, hold on. I turn around and I go, will you pull that out of my ass? Now, you know you got a good friend when he pulls the cactus out of your ass. Now, people, I hope you guys have fun with this. I'm not serious all the time. Believe me, you can ask my loved ones. They never know what to expect from me. So, guys, make no mistake, God loves you and so do I. Only way out of this is through Jesus Christ. I beg you to please find him. Knock on that door. Get him in your life. Get the Holy Spirit in your soul and get the Word of God in your mind. It's the only way out of this, folks. Till next time, you guys, have a good one.